Hello everybody and welcome to episode 62 of Behind the Camera with AndyGames, the podcast where we shine a light on the storytellers, the creatives, and the voices behind the camera. This week, I'm joined by Greg Judd, frontman of UK-based indie rock band the IDKs. We chat about the band's journey from their 2023 EP Something About You to their transformative 2025 singles You're Alright and Axiom, which together have racked up over 30,000 listens. And of course, I couldn't resist asking Greg about the band's ultimate dream gig. If you'd like to support the show, head over to the About section where you'll find a link to my Linktree. This has everything from social media pages and merch to the website and much more. Like, share, follow, comment, or leave a rating. Every little bit goes a long way and I truly appreciate it. Now, here's the interview. Greg, welcome to Behind the Camera with AndyGames. Absolute pleasure to have you on the show. How are we doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you?
All good, man. All good. As I say, pleasure to have you on. The frontman of the IDKs, indie rock band from Essex, am I correct in saying?
Yeah.
Yep, no worries. So take us back to the beginning, man. Take us back to the beginning about how the band formed and even your history in music and how you kind of came to be.
Yeah, so my history of music, I mean, I guess my mum and sister used to sing a bit when I was younger, but never really had any. I never thought growing up that I was going to be a musician or anything like that. But then when I turned about 13, 14, there was like a big landslide indie amount of music sort of coming in. So me and my mates would just always go to gigs in Camden, go to the Roundhouse and just see some of that. So I just loved it. I remember there was a band called Go Audio.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first ever gig I went to. I just remember watching them on the stage and thinking I'd rather be there than here. And then sort of ever since, well, to be fair, when I was younger than that, I did have some lessons to learn guitar, but that just fizzled out. And then, taught myself. I feel like I call myself semi-self-taught because I use YouTube.
Yeah.
So just use YouTube to learn guitar. And then one of my friends who I met at college, Mason, who's a drummer in the band, got him, and then we was like, let's get a band together. So we've been through quite a few people, but we've finally got the four that we need, which is me, Mason, Jules, and Mitch, and form the band the IDKs.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, like I think especially in early days of a band, you do go through the odd lineup change, especially while you're finding your sound and everything. And you know, it does take a long time when you're finding your sound. You obviously have to find the right people to kind of fit that sound as well.
Yeah,
it has to
definitely
be a collaborative effort between everybody in the band. So you guys in 2023 released the EP Something About You. What can you tell us about that and like the writing process and recording of that?
Yeah, so the writing process is actually mad because the track Something About You, when I wrote it, I don't even know why I kept it because I wrote it. I assume it was. I can't even remember writing it. It was in my bedroom. It would have been in my bedroom somewhere. And then I thought it was a terrible song. And we'd sort of gone through all the material that we had at the time, writing, just playing songs together and stuff. And there's like, we got anything? I was like, not really. And then I was like, I've got something, but I don't think it's that good. Played it. And then when we played it together, it was incredible. I thought it just sounded really good. That was a great track. To be fair, on that EP, most people say that Never Listen is probably the best track on that EP. That's why we finish our set with Never Listen. Great track, written by our bass player Jules. He wrote that track Never Listen, which we love. So how he wrote it, I don't know. I'm sure he's in a great relationship. So he's got a loving wife. So I'm pretty sure that everything's good there. In Time, there's also on the EP, I wrote just before I was about to go on a night out in Chelmsford. No, I wrote it when I got back. So we'd gone out. Have you heard of like Boom Battle Bar?
I haven't, no.
So basically, it's this place in Chelmsford. And it's got like axe throwing, mini golf, and like all these different games. And it's got like a massive bar in the middle. So they're drinking, doing some fun arcade games and stuff. Got back and I was just drunk, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna try and write a song. And then that came to fruition, which was great. And then Inside My Heart, which we've as a band, we've got a love-hate relationship with that song. You know, I think we play it incredibly well. Sometimes we love it, sometimes we hate it. It hasn't had the greatest reception, but then I've also had people say that that's their favorite song on the EP. So it's a mixed one. I like it in the set list. I think it brings a good energy. But yeah, I think we released it back in 2023. Something About You was actually pitched up from what originally how we played it to get to where we are. So the backing vocals on that are actually, I could never hit them notes, not even if I tried. So they've been pitched up, but yeah, the rest is, it all came together. And I remember us, because we were really struggling with our recording process before that time. We had stuff that I hope no one ever finds on SoundCloud. I don't even know if we have access to it anymore. And it is absolutely dreadful. Like, I still think we're working on our recording process at the moment. There's still stuff that we need to tighten up, and we've learned a lot over the last 2 singles as well. But yeah, that was the first time where we was like happy to release our tracks, and I think we've really enjoyed that. Mitch wasn't with us at the time, so the solos on that first EP was written and done by Jules, our bass player. But I really like him. He's an incredible solo writer, in my opinion. One of the, I genuinely, and this is no word of a lie, I genuinely believe this. Jules is probably not playing the guitar, but he is probably one of the best solo writers in the UK, I would argue.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's do you know, that's like I love the process that has gone into Something About You there. And one thing that particularly interesting was when you said that the actual title track, Something About You, that when you wrote it, kind of hated it, but like, would you say then, like, once you sort of get the rest of the band involved and you have that collaborative effort, that's what kind of brings it together and makes you actually like the song a lot more than what it was?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, the thing is, I'm so lucky because I feel like I've got an okay voice. I can play guitar, but I'm not the best guitarist. If I applied for my band, I don't even know if I'd get in. And the guys that I'm with, they're absolutely phenomenal. Mason is a great drummer. Jules can play bass like you're playing lead guitar, and Mitch, you tell him something, he can do it instantly. Like they're all incredible musicians. And when I bring in the song, the way they just lift it is just, they just take it to another. It's more than just like, even individually we're probably not that good, but then when we come together and we create stuff, I don't know, there's just this chemistry that comes together, and it really makes the song what it is. So 100% that track, if it wasn't for them, it definitely wouldn't be what it is.
Yeah. So then, as a frontman, would you say that goes the other way around as well? So then, if any of your other bandmates come to you with something, are you able to turn it into what they envision it as, would you say?
Maybe, definitely we can work on stuff to improve it. I don't know if it's going to be what they envision as. So, for instance, Never Listen, it was slightly different when Jules first brought it to us, but we wanted a solo in there, and certain things weren't smooth. So we work on, and we change. Sometimes I think on that one we change the structure a bit. It's definitely, because we'll usually write a song from home, the basis, so it'll be like the words and the chords, and then we'll bring it to practice, and then it'll be a collaborative effort of making it into a full song that we can play live. And then the recording process for me, I don't know how other bands do it, but for us it's completely different to playing it live. But the way we play it live does have an impact on how we want the song to sound as a recording.
Yeah. And I think that's definitely a good way to measure it as well, because if you're writing something, you're doing the individual parts, but you've never played it live or rehearsed it, well, I suppose you would have rehearsed it, but let's say you've never played it live, then the finished product is always going to be different, like on either side, because whenever you're playing music live, you will tweak things from the recorded version,
Yeah,
certain
exactly.
things, and other way around. So whenever it comes to recording, do you guys like self-record everything, like sort of home studio type sort of thing, or do you outsource it?
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, we do home recordings. So we'll literally just record all our parts. So we'll get the drums. I'll usually do a guide track, or whoever's written the song will do a guide track, and then from there we'll we'll just send it round to everyone. We'll get the drums on it, we'll get the bass on it, which they'll either record at home or we'll go to each other's places and record there. Then we'll put, once the bass of the drums are down, I'll put on usually rhythm guitar, but then I'll sort of layer it with other guitar, because our sound
Yeah.
is layered guitars. So we've got like a beefy sound on ours. I mean, it differs depending on what parts of the songs and things like that, but we usually have quite, especially in choruses and stuff, we like to, bring it up, lift it, and add a bit more. Then we'll get Mitch to add his lead parts to it, and then we'll go and do the vocals, backings, and ad libs, and then once we've done all that at home, that's when we send it off to a mix and mastering engineer.
Yeah, that's interesting as well, because with the music industry being what it is, but also with technology being what it is at the same time, like it's so accessible to just record a song, like a full EP, like in your guys' case, just from home by doing individual parts. That would definitely have not been the case for like, an independent band 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And like, how would you say then being able to do this and in essence pump music out as and when you can and want to, how does it sort of help the competitiveness of the industry for you guys, would you say?
I'm personally of the opinion it's the best and worst thing that's ever happened. I've just got such mixed feelings, because I mean, I genuinely believe if we were around, maybe, I don't know if we would make it or not, because I think the issue with us live sometimes is not work ethic, it's just that we're very busy people. So we do gig a fair bit, but if it's down to me, we'd be gigging every single weekend non-stop, and I'd be making them go down there. But I think so. I don't know, because I feel like if people heard us, we'd definitely be picked up. But I mean, I sound so arrogant saying that. Maybe it's just the utter belief I have in myself. But we are the best band ever. No, I'm joking. Like, if you genuinely believe, I think we would be picked up. But then also on the other side of it, and then with but then also it's based on luck as well. There's a lot of luck involved, like you've got to be the right place at the right time, you've got to have people looking at you, and I guess with social media and Spotify, you've got more chance of people seeing you or having access, so you've got that. But then you've also got the issue with oversaturation, because the amount of people who upload to Spotify a day now is insane. But the other thing, because I saw a stat, and I think it's really, really important that bands also need to take into consideration when they're looking at Spotify and things like that. Even though the numbers are ridiculously high to the amount of people that upload to Spotify, the amount of people that are pushing their tracks out to playlists, that are promoting on socials and doing that, it's not a lot when you come down to the level of marketing. So if you are uploading songs and working your bollocks off to, can I swear on there?
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
All right, cool. Oh, yeah. But yeah, if you're working your bollocks off to get that result, then it is worth it. And then also you've got the fact that we've had people all across the world. Like, we've got people in, like, I think when I was checking the other day, like one of our top countries is like Sweden. We've had people in like places in Australia I've never heard of. We've got people in Japan listening, and years ago you wouldn't have that. So again, it's the same thing. It's and also, where, to be fair, I think back in the day we would have gigged more, because there would have been a lot more people out and about and stuff like that. Like, you gig in London sometimes, some places are absolutely, it's just desolate and dead. Like, cost of living, the price of drinking in London now is just obscene. So I do get it. You know, people can't afford to go out. That's another thing that's killing the music scene. But we found a really great gig venue, like really cheap drinks, great bands down there, and we've started gigging down there with a venue called the Fickle Pickle. Amazing. The crowds are great. We gig down there. We want to gig with them more because it's just, yeah, it's a great. I think at the moment in Essex, the two places where it's at is there and Chinnery's that I know of, and what I've seen. So, yeah, sorry, ADHD. I'm going so off topic.
No, you're fine. No. That's the thing about this. Love tangents, like, so don't be worrying about that one.
Yeah. Okay. Good. But yeah. I think there would have been more people to play to, so we would have gone out more because there's more to work for. But yeah, again, it's love hate because obviously you've got the issues with Spotify and how they're milking bands, and then you've also got the benefit of being, like I said, displayed all across the world, and people who are seeing our music that would never have heard of it, and then they can tell their friends. And with social media, it can be very toxic, and like some people, I mean, to be fair, the issue, I mean, I'm probably not right in the head, because when people start abusing me online, I absolutely love it. But the reason being is because all I see is engagement. So I'm like, you want to have a row, we'll have a row, because all I'm seeing is you're pushing my post out to another 5 people who are just like you. Bring the toxicity. I love it. I genuinely don't care. But come on our page and be as toxic to me as you want, because you're either, two things are going to happen. Our post is going to get pushed out, or you're going to get yourself banned.
Yeah.
Either are fine with me. So call me what you want. Like, I genuinely couldn't care less. Like, some guy living in his mum's basement somewhere, just giving it or whatever. I couldn't care less. So, but yeah, I think like I said, it's very, it's love hate, because there's benefits to it, there's downsides to everything, and I think it's always been that way. And I think that sometimes you've just got to swallow it and be like, look, this is the hand we've been dealt. Just graft your bollocks off, work for it, and if you want to be the best, then you got to be the best. So just get on with it.
Yeah.
The other thing I hate is the cringiness, though. That's the bit I hate. Is I need to all the bands that I love, they're just so cool, and they've got that swagger about them. The music's great. I feel like now to rise to the top on social media, you've either got to be hated or you've got to be cringy. And I just think it's just like either rage bait, and it's just, I don't want to do neither. We want to do it our way. We're going to continue to do it our way. It seems to be working, so carry on until we're massive.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it is like such an interesting time that we're in, because to breach on your Spotify point, like it's one of those things that people will see the numbers of uploads every day, or they'll see how, like, maybe the plays aren't reflecting or whatever it may be. But it is one of those things where it actually doesn't take a whole lot to fall into that sort of higher bracket, that higher percentage, because of persistence and perseverance. A lot of people will just sort of be put off by the numbers, put out 1 or 2 things, and they'll be like, well, no, I'm just going to be a small fish in a big pond. But like, I think it's like, I think that kind of goes to all kind of forms of media. Like, podcasts are the same. Most don't really make it past. I hear 3 episodes, I hear 4, I hear 10, but either way, it's a small number. And then, like, to your point about the venues and stuff, like, it's that's like a double-edged sword almost, because you could find yourselves gigging in Essex like every week for however long, but then not being able to get out to London, for example, where there's like, you get one hand, you get the experience of live gigging, you can really like tune up and everything, but on the other hand, are you missing a chance to get like picked up by the right person seeing it in London, which might be more like it's quite an interesting dichotomy, I think.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's it's, like you said, it's a double-edged sword. What was your first point that you said? Sorry,
about the analytics on Spotify, where like it doesn't take too much to get to like that sort of top bracket in terms of.
Yeah, that's what I was going to point out. Yeah, because I think it's the same for. I assume it's the same for podcasting as well. There's a great saying that I love, which is, "You're always 5 foot from gold," which is, there was like a guy who who had bought like all these diggers and things like that, and I think it was somewhere in America, and he was excavating the ground. He was like, I can't find this guy who's digging. This other guy had done all the calculations, worked it all out, and he went, "Oh, don't worry, I'll buy all the equipment off you." The guy was 5 foot from gold, and he gave up. And then this guy came along, and he became an absolute billionaire. So, this is the thing: it's like the dreams are there. The biggest enemy of success is just sticking at it, working hard, and just just keeping going. That's the only way you're going to get there. In anything in life, with consistency, hard work. Consistency and hard work. There's nothing that doesn't come to fruition. It's like the same. You go to the gym every day and you eat healthy, you will get in shape.
Yeah.
It's a law of physics. You work hard and you're consistent, you're going to get what you want. So, if you give up on the first hurdle, then it's never going to succeed. So, I say the same thing to to everyone. Just if you're not getting streams, then go on YouTube, like go on TikTok, see what other bands are doing, look into it, do your research. I'll be honest, when I dropped that EP to begin with, we got nothing, and I was like, what the hell is going on? These songs are great, this is going out. But the issue is you're literally dropping these songs, but no one's looking at it. You got people aren't gonna find your music. You have to find in the beginning, people have to find your music, because Spotify won't push it out for you.
No.
They don't do anything. The music gets uploaded. I guess it's the same for you on YouTube or wherever. To begin with, it doesn't get pushed out. It just gets dropped on there. So you need to be, looking for playlists, promoting on socials, finding their niches. And like I said, the best thing to do in the beginning is see what other bands are doing, and then try and use that formula. But yeah, hard work and consistency, and you'll get anything you want.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that kind of sort of is shown with your two singles that you released in 2025. You're All Right and Axiom. The former of that has just hit 20k plays, so massive congratulations. And Axiom, of course, hitting 10k as well. So like, especially with such a big gap between Something About You to then these two singles, like how did it feel kind of like bringing these two songs out with somewhat of like a newer sound, fresher sound, and just kind of like ready to kind of push yourselves on that a little bit more?
Yeah, I think, like I said, the EP was a massive learning curve for me. Like the hours and the things that, or the education that I put in to understand and learn how things work, how the algorithm works, and understanding how to get that viewership. Like, I would almost argue that you're better off having a marketing degree than learning to play an instrument if you want to be a musician. That's how like crazy it is. The first EP helped me a lot with what we needed to do, where we needed to be, and how we needed to grow. I saw a great band called I don't know if you've heard of them, called Arcala. I believe they're either from Manchester or Liverpool. And they were releasing songs. I also read an incredible book, which I believe is free on Spotify. Well, free on Spotify if you have premium, so it's not free, but you know what I mean. But you can listen to it on there. You don't have to pay for it or anything. It was from a guy called Manifest, and he basically goes through how to promote a song, how you should be doing it. And after reading it, I just worked out that everything we did on the release was completely wrong. We had a whole EP and we should have released it track by track. Anytime anyone on TikTok messages me, I'll always tell them to drop me a message or speak to me before they release, like look at their release strategy, do it properly, because there's this whole thing as well that makes a huge difference is and we've slowed down now because of things have got so busy, but we are going to get back on it and do it. When you release a track previously and it does well, your next track will be boosted a lot more. So then even though I'm doing the same work, you'll get more streams because it will be pushed out to more people, because Spotify looks at it and goes, well, these guys are bringing people to our platform because they've got this many streams, so we'll push it out further. So You're All Right's obviously taken off. And then we released Axiom. I think it's about, because what you need to do as well on Spotify, you need to be releasing tracks every 2 to 3 months to keep that going. So we could be in danger with our next release. I don't know yet, but we'll see. Then you also get a trickle back effect. So the reason why You're All Right is on a lot more streams is because we released Axiom. We done the same thing. We done the same planning. We wasn't pushing towards You're All Right, but because of the trickle back effect of that track being out and people going, oh, who are these guys? What are they doing? And they see You're All Right is doing well. They start listening to that. So then that also gets more streams. And yeah, it's just all to do. Yeah, like I said, I think reading that audiobook by Manifest was just a massive learning curve for me. It taught me about Spotify, how it works. It also explains that stop looking at Spotify as the enemy and start looking at it as your friend, because you need to, use it to your advantage and work these things, because like I said at the beginning, this is the hand we're dealt. So, and this is where the success is. So you're either gonna have to swallow it and work with it, or you can do your own thing somewhere else, but you're only going to get as far as you're going to get.
Yeah, definitely. It is interesting as well how with Spotify being like sort of the main kind of music provider at the moment, like it does have, it's very polarizing with a lot of people. Like people are just like, they hate it because it doesn't pay the way it should, but then also like I imagine obviously from like an independent perspective, it's like you say, it's the hand you're dealt, but it's the way, coupled with social media, to get your music out there faster. And well, if you're doing singles as well like that, then you're giving your audience something more to look forward to. Whereas like if you've gone from that whole physical media to digital media, you've kind of got it made then already. But like it's like you say, it's the hand you're dealt. It's what you kind of have. You got to use the resource the best way you possibly can for growth.
Yeah, exactly. No, I completely agree. And that's not even me saying that they're like anyone's opinions are wrong. Then they're not. Spotify possibly should be playing their artists more, and they should be doing this and that. I'm not saying anyone's opinions are wrong in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying, like you said, they've pretty much, I don't know if monopolized is the correct word, because I don't know the legal side of it, but basically they have the onus on that whole sector. So this is where it's at, and that's where people post their music. I don't think even big artists want to be posting on there, but the thing is, if you want people to see you, that's where everyone is, and that's going to be the best place to. Sorry if you can hear the dogs barking.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, that's where everyone are. That's where people are listening to their music. And from a listener's perspective, I completely get it. Free music, all the best music, all in one place. Why am I not going to go there? Why am I? And then it's the same thing. It's like the iPhone. The iPhone is not the best phone anymore, but everyone's got it and everyone uses it, so it's just ease of access. Spotify was the first one to have a streaming platform of music like that, and they've managed to take that over. So that's where people are. I completely get it, and I completely see both sides. So yeah, that's I guess, like I said, that's how it is at the moment. And we get our music pushed out to thousands of people that we might not have been able to before. So
yeah, of course. But like even at that though, it is like if you're releasing singles, it's so much easier because like, do you remember back in the day, a band would have released a single, you would have had to have went out and bought the individual CD, whereas like now a band can just do like a 3-track EP or something on Spotify, and it's like, I know these things they don't pay, but like it's kind of, I always remember like whenever I was younger, I'd have seen a new single come out and I was like, I don't want to take up more room with just this single, with just like one track and then the live version of it. It's like, no, I want the full album. Like I'll wait 3 months and buy the CD of the full album
when it comes out. Yeah, exactly. But well, this is the thing. I think now, because I've seen it with even bigger artists, I think maybe I guess it depends on the way things go. But I think we're going to see the death of the album and the EP and things like that, because again, sorry, I keep going on about Spotify algorithm.
No, go ahead.
Because the way it goes now, and like I explained before, there's no benefit out of posting an album. There's only a benefit out of posting singles and pushing people to your platform. Like when I heard what Hayley Williams is doing, she's an absolute genius, which is releasing the singles asking people to create playlists, which means that Spotify is sitting there and their algorithm's going, oh my God, there's so many playlists for this one track. We're going to pick the best playlist and that'll be the album order. Released it all as singles so people would listen one by one. Because sometimes you'll drop an album and people will listen to it and be like, done now. Whereas
Yeah.
you've got a single, so they'll go back and go, oh, I'll listen to the old single. Oh, I'm adding it to the playlist. And, you know, I think that strategy was absolutely incredible. That was an absolute masterpiece of marketing strategy that she did. And, yeah, I think seeing that, yeah, we're going to eventually see the death of albums because if it doesn't benefit the music industry and there's no money in it, why are they going to bother?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And you know, it's interesting, like, because I never would have known that about the whole thing behind releasing singles or anything. But like, the more I think about it, the more it makes sense, because obviously Spotify will tell you upcoming releases tailored to what you've been listening to, and but you would have maybe seen 4 or 5, maybe at a push 6 singles of this upcoming album over the space of about 4 months, 5 months, or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you click onto the album to see what the full track list is going to be, and there's only maybe about 3 or 4 unreleased tracks, and it's kind of like, I can't. I mean, no, I kind of personally sometimes feel shortchanged by this, but then I guess
100%, I agree.
there's a reason for it. It's because I mean, the last thing a band wants is to put out a full album, maybe 1 or 2 singles, and then they have 8 to 10 additional tracks that nobody cares for, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, and I kind of think there's that element of, even if like a band releases 4 or 5 singles, they're going to release their strongest ones. But even if like it doesn't resonate originally with their audience, you're still going to go back when the album releases. You're still going to go back and you're still going to see like so many more plays on those singles than on the rest of the album, and that's never going to change. People aren't going to just like, I think people warm to it. Maybe they compare it to the rest of the album, it's not as good, and it's such an interesting concept, and it just keeps people there. So on the topic then of your singles, you guys recently had your music featured in a film. So what can you tell us about that? Because it's no small feat, of course.
Yeah. It was really cool. So yeah, I think originally, I can't remember who it was, but I guess someone must have been searching, and someone reached out originally on Reddit. It was back before You're All Right and Axiom were even released. And they got us in touch with Janae Rachel Ballard. I hope I haven't butchered her name. Who's producer, writer, actor, who's been working and you know, doing stuff in Beverly Hills. She got in touch and said she loved Something About You and that she'd love to use it in a film. So, I mean, it's really cool as well. She's I mean, she's a great art. She's like, there was just like a resonation there from myself when I was speaking to her, because you could tell that the work she's doing, I think, especially this film that she's created, it's very close to her and it's very personal. And like, you can tell she just loves her art and what she does, and you know, she's in it for the right reasons. So I resonate with that as well, because you know, we do this because we love it. You know, where, oh my God, the amount of money we've probably lost on being in a band, which again, also I understand why there's less bands about them and why the music industry is so hard. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's a lot. We put a lot into our passions, and you know, we're working hard to do what we do, and I see that in her as well. It's quite weird as well, because the story about her and her life, obviously I can't resonate what it's like to be a woman in her situation, and you know, some of the things she's been through with her interest in, and you know, almost traumatic, you know, past and things like that. So for her to find, you know, that sort of, I think the similarity is where we have similar passions, but in different parts. So I think that there is where I think she can feel what the music felt, how it feels to her, and Something About You really resonated with her. She liked it. It fits in with the film, and yeah, she wanted to use it. So we were like, yeah, absolutely. This is for us. This is amazing stuff. So I can't. I should remember the actual date the film's being released. I'm sure she's told me, but I'll get it over to you, and you can put it in the description or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, of course. So,
But
so
yeah,
is it coming out like say between now and the end of the year?
yeah. I want to say it's pretty soon. I want to say 15th of October, but um, I'm pretty sure it's in the trailer. I mean, it's on our page. If you check it out, the
Yeah,
film's called Disassociated Me. Um, yeah, it's a great film about her and her life and being a writer, and her traumatic past and what she's been through and how she sort of resolves that. And yeah, it's a great story. It's a great piece of art, and I'd definitely say check it out. And
yeah.
obviously, it's amazing because our music's in it. So it's regardless, it's going to get 10 on IMDb. So yeah, no, she's a great person. She's not. I think she because sometimes I can imagine in Beverly Hills and like certain places like that, you get a certain type of person trying to make it in the industry, and they're very
Oh yeah.
hungry, but in for all the wrong reasons and all the wrong ways. And I can just tell from speaking to her and working with her, she's not that person. So it's it was enjoyable to work with her
Yeah,
rather than yeah.
like it's one of those things as well where the element of luck comes into it. Like the right person saw your music at the right time, and it's kind of.
Yeah,
And the thing is, as well, your song in that movie that could sit there for however long, and
yeah.
then all of a sudden the right person could see that could get picked
Mm,
up, and then links back to your music, and then it is kind of it's a really interesting sort of domino effect, I think, with
mm,
creative arts. And everybody's trying to be seen for what it is that they're putting out into the world. And like I mean, when you have like a nothing but a digital catalog, which is what most things is these days,
yeah,
it's that's what you're kind of relying on to a degree, is just
yeah.
sometimes having the right person, like right for example, for me, the right person to see an episode or something, or in your case, the right person to just be at a gig kind of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
it's it's such an interesting thing. And it's amazing how luck works like in that regard.
Mm,
So then, like, looking then to the future, for the
mhm.
IDKs, like, where do you see yourselves like in the next couple of years? Like, what is it that you want to achieve? Obviously, like step by step, but
Yeah,
what's the future of the band looking like?
yeah. So, I mean, this is the thing. So, I mean, I don't really set any massive goals. Um, I mean, obviously, we want to be playing stadiums. We want to be the biggest band in the UK and Japan. I don't know if the other band feel different, but I don't know why. I don't care about being big in America. I don't know why. I love the UK. I love it here. I mean, over Europe, I would also be fine. I love Japan. I love the culture and stuff. So I'd
Mhm.
love to be massive there. When I look at like old Oasis videos and I see them over there and like how they were just absolutely loved and adored. And my favorite track by them is Acquiesce,
Yeah.
and the music video is I believe the guys from Japan, and it's them dressed as the band playing. It's just incredible. So yeah, I'd like that. But yeah, for me, it's usually just short goals. So at the moment, it's just working on socials. Um, life's just getting really busy at the moment. But we're working on our next single called "Somebody Else's Dream." I think that's what it's called. Or I just made that up. I'll tell you now. But yeah, we're working on it. Yeah, someone else's dream. It's called someone else's dreams. Someone else's dreams. So we're working on that single at the moment. I think they're actually waiting on me, so I need to get my bits down so that we can finish it and get that. That'll be our next single out. We want to try and get that out before the end of the year. Then we've got another single that I've written that I actually really liked. Then we played it together and I hated it. And then in the last practice we played it together and I loved it. So that one I think is going to be. I don't know how that one's going to come out live, but On Spotify, that one I think will fly. That
Yeah.
one's going to be called Invincible. That'll be a great tune. I think that's going to do very well. And then for there, it's just pushing to get festival slots, keep growing, keep gigging, and just doing everything we can out there. Social media is just in the last couple of months. I've been posting every day for I want to say 140 something days now. So yeah, so we're doing really well on that, and that's helped us a lot with getting gigs and 146 days. So I posted every single day for 147. I still need to post today. We will get posted. And I think that's helped us a lot. Like, it shows you the importance of social media. Like we discussed earlier, it's like everything's a slow burner in the beginning.
Yeah.
These things do come. I've seen it with our music because, like I said, it was a slow burner at the beginning, but now we're hitting the thousands. We're now hitting the tens of thousands. I think that'll eventually grow even more. I think eventually we'll see that on social media as well, which I'm waiting for. I just got to, keep working it, keep posting.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm gonna keep doing it every day, keep working hard, never miss a day until we achieve that goal. It's inevitable.
Absolutely, yeah. And like, consistency is one of the most important things that you can have in any form of creative arts, because like, it's almost as if the sort of algorithm also wants you to prove that you believe in what you're doing. Like, and I know that sounds so cheesy, but like,
no,
at the same
you're
time,
right.
it's
Yeah,
because you do get people who are in these types of endeavors for the wrong reason. It's like less out of passion and more out of influence by another field, and it's so it's always like refreshing to see, like, whenever another creative in doing it for the right reasons and just wanting to achieve something with it that is massively attainable.
yeah. I think anything's attainable if you work it. Like, if you look at it, all the big podcasters, all the big musicians, all the big artists, they were just like us. They started out on a journey and they became massive because of hard work and working things out and working on it. So they can do it, we can do it, anyone can do it. You just gotta put that effort in, be that person.
100%. Well, Greg, I just have one more question for you just before we wrap up. So right, here is the situation. You have the IDKs, and what I want you to tell me is the ideal venue, ideal support, and your ideal opener. This is the big gig here. What are we saying?
Wait, so are we playing, or someone else?
You guys are headlining, so the IDKs are headlining. So what I need from you is the venue, your support or supports, and your opener.
Ooh. It's going to be London Stadium. As a West Ham fan, it's got to be played there. I think that'll be incredible. That's always on the bucket list. Oh, opener. Who could open? Who would be a great open? Let's say Catfish and the Bottlemen.
Okay.
I think Catfish would be really good. Support. We'll probably have to support them. I don't know. Actually, I want more than one. How many supports can I have?
As we'll say, up to 3. We'll say
up to 3. I'm trying to think who. I'm gonna have 3 supports.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
There's a big stadium show. You're talking like 5 o'clock start, right on through to 11 o'clock kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's your ideal gig. You have the narrative.
All right. Cool. So London Stadium opener, Catfish. Support. If I get 3, let's go Kasabian. Let's go. I'm trying to think. I feel like I've been listening to someone recently, and if I miss them out, I'm going to be like, oh no, I should have picked them. Oh yeah, Kasabian, Snow Patrol, and then probably Oasis, and then us.
There we go. That is the IDKs ideal gig. London Stadium, the IDKs with support from Oasis, Snow Patrol, Kasabian, Catfish and the Bottlemen opening. You know what? That is a solid lineup. I like that. I would turn up. I would fucking turn up 100%.
I think we can sell some tickets there. Let's get this sorted. Let's get our agents on the phone.
That's
we'll
it.
get this set up.
Anyone listening, just remember that lineup, and it's gonna happen.
It's definitely gonna happen. We'll get it out there.
Yeah. Well, Greg, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on the show today. Just before we then wrap up, if you would like to just sort of plug your socials and the band, just in whatever way you can, just for the listeners at home.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Andy. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you wanna catch us on socials, most of our socials are the same. It's at IDKs _the. And yeah, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. We're on Facebook, but we don't really. I guess we do post on there, and we're on YouTube as well, and we have a YouTube short, so which we're actually doing pretty well on, to be fair. But yeah, check us out. Our music's on Spotify, the IDKs, and yeah, just enjoy it and yeah, love it.
It's amazing stuff. Once again, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure, and best of luck for the future, and obviously for the London Stadium gig coming up.
Yeah, thank you, mate. I appreciate it. And yeah, cheers.
No worries, mate. And there you have it. That brings us to the end of episode 62 of Behind the Camera with AndyGames. Massive thanks to this week's guest, Greg Judd, representing the IDKs. A clear voice of passion and purpose when it comes to the band, and it's evident that the IDKs have a very bright future ahead. Once again, if you'd like to support the podcast, my link tree in the About section has everything from socials, merch, website, all the good stuff. A follow, rating, share, all goes a long way. Until next time, take care, stay creative, and I'll see you soon. But until then, peace.